Grasscloth corners. If you're dealing with a stiff product, it's hard. So I want to go over some of the basics that I do to get a nice crisp corner. Let me show you one that I did a couple of hours ago. This is an obtuse angle, and this is my grasscloth corner. There are no hollow spots. However, if you have a thin product, your corner is only going to be as beautiful as your wall corner is. So if it's nice and sharp here, but it's a little rounded down here, it's going to show through the product. But as a paper hanger, our job is to make sure that the product sticks to the corner. Come on over on the other side. You have to choose where the product falls. So when you plan out your room, you don't want a 36-inch wide piece of wallpaper hitting them in the middle. So here's 36 inches. Let's say you plan it poorly. Here would be a poorly planned grasscloth corner. Something that looks like this. Rather, you want the corner to be something that has a minimum of 6 inches of grabbable wallpaper and no more than 8. No more than 8. Here's why. We need to bend this product. What we're doing is we're bending the material. We're bending it and creasing it. And we're making it permanent. Let's go up a little higher. So we've made our impression by doing this. We're pulling it so that we have a true idea of where the product falls on the corner. This is just making an impression. But then, that's not sufficient. You want to crease the material. Take a look at the bottom. You see the bottom, how it's staying creased? But here it's not, is it? Can you see that in the camera? So, watch the difference. You see the difference now? So my impression is going to tell me that I'm creasing it in the right place. Because if I start to crease first, you very well might end up with something that looks like this. A crease here that runs into the corner. And that would be an irreversible error. Do we have any lawyers from New York watching? You know what Trowbridge is in litigation, criminal litigation? Trowbridge, irreversible error, something like that. I remember my days working with the district attorneys, and I remember the district attorney on one of the cases I had before the court said, "Your Honor, that's Trowbridge." He said, "I don't think that's Trowbridge." He was a Southerner. I don't know what he was doing in New York. Anyway, Trowbridge. Irreversible error. I think that means a case gets thrown out. But maybe one of you lawyers could advise. I don't know. That's Trowbridge. But it would be an irreversible crease. So I'm reminded of the days when I was a police officer in New York. And if you know police officers, you'll know that they don't like to spend money, especially on uniforms. And some of them, it looks like their mommy pressed their pants. And sometimes mommy would be ironing a different crease, right? When she flattens out the pants. And then you get two creases. You ever see that? In New York, we used to get a uniform allowance. It was the city saying, go buy some new pants. And unfortunately, for the city, they would give it to the police right around Christmas time. So you know what that meant. That money never got spent on uniforms. So look at how my corn is turning out. Now there are a couple of ways to do this, but this is definitely one of them. So to perfect it, so I gave you step 1, make the impression. Step 2, crease it. Step 3 perfects it. I take 2 plastic, what did I say? Plastic smoothers. And I finish off my crease with 2 smoothers working together to give it that final friction. You see, my corner runs off here. It doesn't maintain the angle throughout. Okay? So, and my corner is not perfectly 90 right here. And so, you gotta play with it. Look what I'm doing. Do anything you can to get that corner. It's like putting mortar, right? With, I don't know what the tool is called, a trowel. And you're making like, you know, chimney, I guess. You're making that corner. But here's the deal. Tomorrow when you come back to this job or when you walk away and you go home, you don't want to call back that your corner got fat, which means you didn't crease it and the product pretty much, it relaxed, it pulled away from the corner and it became what we call a fat corner, which means not only is there air in it, but the product detached from the corner because you didn't give it sufficient reason to stay in the corner. The fourth thing, which is the first process, is to put clay-based paste on the corner. The clay-based paste is a super wallpaper glue. You can call it extreme tack. It's a clay-based adhesive that will keep the corner from coming detached. Now, because the corner isn't plumb perfectly, or if it is plumb perfectly, give them an aerial shot of this. Show them this. Right here. Show them right above it. Okay, so would you agree that this is a 90-degree angle? For argument's sake, this is a 90-degree angle. About. Okay, 90. So let's say that as you go up and down this corner, it goes like this. As you go up and down the corner. So let me show you what I mean. As I go up and down this corner, my smoothers are moving in and out, which is fine. That's the way this is. But it results in this. See this? And that is an excess of wallpaper that develops because the corner is not consuming the wallpaper at the same angle from top to bottom. The result is that it buckles, either because you have too much, the angle withdraws, it gets smaller, or if the angle increases, this edge will pull in. The result is that you must now plumb this with putting a laser line on this and cutting it straight. Because it's not going to be straight, because I already know my angle isn't straight, and therefore the edge, which was it's a factory edge, it's not going to be straight because the angle is pulling it a little here, pushing it out a little here as it changes. That's all I want to tell you. That's enough to swallow for now. What do you think? Let me show you the end result when I perfect it. I'll see you on the next frame. Okay, so I just put some clay-based paste under this one. I'm just giving it its final, its final smoothing out. Some grass cloths can be cleaned, not this one. So you don't want this stuff on. It's great when you can just clean it. But we're going to be trimming this, right? Okay. Wipe the smoother off. Go for it. Press hard. Nice. Now remember, with a thin product, your corner is going to show what's underneath it.